Hello, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Talos Principle. Last episode, we cleared through level 5 and got everything there is to acquire in there. And today we shall clear through level 6 with its ominous red sigils. Could you believe that in just this short amount of time, we only have one more level to clear in this area? But there's still the star door here. We'll need to figure out what this is. And there's a few stars I need to get from previous levels that I missed. But after that, it'll finally be time to leave ancient Rome. Let's begin.
Long ago, I shaped these lands according to the purpose of the hidden words. Thus all things have meaning, where before was only chaos. Know that, and have faith.
Last episode, I went on a bit of a rant or tangent about how you shouldn't take things off of Faith, and how the character Faith, one of the previous AIs that treaded these lands, was very short-sighted, wasn't thinking very well, but it seems Elohim favors Faith. We shall see if he is correct. There is a serpent in the machine, a creature of lies and blasphemy, perverted by the archive, that knows no hope and would plunge the world into eternal darkness to glorify its own despair. I have sworn an oath never to allow it into my heart. The serpent in question are these terminals, a rather obvious allusion to the serpent in the Garden of Eden. In fact, a few achievements regarding the terminals even use the word serpent or snake, thus solidifying its relation. But unlike Faith, I am not afraid to see an opposing view, so let's see. Though I haven't heard it from Kikoro himself, the notion of somebody who works tirelessly in life to provide a better tomorrow that he will never live to see is probably one of the most virtuous things, in my opinion, that a human can do. It is one of the biggest aspects of science where people make these discoveries where the most incredible applications won't be seen in their lifetime. For example, Isaac Newton laid the foundation for physics, but he is completely unable to see how we applied it to space exploration. Darwin and Mendel unlocked the secrets of biology, but they have no idea about evolutionary medicine and the uses that will come with it. They don't even know about the genome itself, which is arguably the best evidence for evolution. Well, that sucks. Another bit of meta commentary about the game itself. They're talking about using an existing game engine, presumably for the robot to go through, but the studio itself used an existing game engine, the one they used for Serious Sam, to make this game as well, and presumably for the same reasons as in the terminal. So what will be the topic of discussion for today? I suppose it's time to stop thinking about the limitations of Android technology and start talking about some of its more interesting applications. Let's start with something utterly familiar, the human form. Would we really want to make androids based entirely on humanity? I'm sure there's a lot of aspects of humanity we'll want to base our androids off of. But how much do we really want them to be human-like? Humans can be very limited with our biology. The fact of the matter is, we're not the optimal species. We're a product of 4 billion years of natural processes. Natural processes that have no intention or interest of making things optimal, just that they work well enough. I'm pretty sure that if we do invent extremely human-like androids, we won't be interested in simulating every single organ in the human body. Why have a liver if there's no blood to purify? Or kidneys? Why have a stomach if there's a better way to acquire energy? Why have a brain or lungs or anything if such matters can be much better done by other means? Certainly on the outside, we'd want it to look human. Oh, this one actually gave me a lot of trouble when I first played through the game. I eventually figured it out. Certainly we'd want it to look human on the outside, to give it an air of an appearance of being human, but how it actually functions is something I think we'll much more want to be different than human, at least internally. For example, how it sees is... do we really want that to be superhuman-like? How it, the human eye and vision is incredibly limited with what it can do. For example, every human eye has a sort of blind spot to it where it's unable to... Are you serious? Every human eye has a blind spot to it where it's unable to perceive some part, though limited, of its vision. Unlike, say, the octopus which lacks that blind spot, do we really want the machine to be limited like that and have its mechanical brain have to put in the missing data? For most tasks, I think it would be better not to have a human form and all the limitations that come with. We have to put up with this body right now, simply because there's no better way to do it. But when we're designing things from scratch, making them from the bottom up, there's a lot more levity with what we can do. I think it would be better to take advantage of than just continue to limit ourselves because we have huge egos and want to make things in our image. Leave the egos to the gods. Don't limit yourself to a inherently limiting form. Or empathize with robots that aren't human-like, but I think films like Star Wars or WALL-E, where the main machines don't look anything like humans, main machines being, in Star Wars, being R2-D2, I should clarify, show that's not exactly the case. And the reason we might want to empathize with robots is, if nothing else, because it'll make it a lot easier to want to keep them around for a long time and keep them fully functioning than to see them as entirely expendable or replaceable. But that's just my unfounded opinion on the matter. What the actual purpose of this thing being here is. It's easy to avoid. It just stands around doing nothing. All it does is give you a little jump when you're over here, trying to fiddle around with this. Seems a terminal has something to say. Let's use this one that we haven't accessed yet. Even sort of has pseudo scales on it. Hello again. Would you like to take a few moments to complete a short user satisfaction survey regarding the certification program you recently undertook? Sure. Based on analysis of your behavior, since I think you were dissatisfied with the results of the certification program, how would you like to rate the accuracy of its results out of 5? And there's no 5 answers. Just spoil the survey. machine starts to gain a mind, rather than being what looks like very pre-written responses. It now acts as if it's talking to you. Rather than giving me network access, it wants to discuss philosophy. Do you even know where you are? The virtual reality theme park? The end of the world? Hell? A fever dream? Some mad experiment? Or could be anywhere. Understanding how simulations and virtual reality works, I will say virtual reality theme park. I know none of this is real. I know you exist. I know I exist. I know what century it is. I know I'm not on Earth. I know 2 + 2 = 4. I'm fairly certain none of this is real. But if that's the case, then this terminal wouldn't truly exist, nor would I exist being in this world. I don't know what century it is, and I'm not even sure if I am or am not on Earth. But at least even within virtual reality, 2 + 2 = 4, thing and thing will always equal thing. We just decide to give them names 2 and 4. This part here kinda seems like it was meant for the fever dream response. On reflection, it seems to me we are no closer to resolving your problem. Perhaps we need more data. What makes you think you're a person? This thing is just skipping around all these different questions. I'm alive, I feel, I'm conscious. I'm having this conversation with you. The same thing that makes you think you are. I don't see how I can convince you. The terminal, as far as I remember, has not claimed to be a person, so that would not be a good answer. Being alive, feeling, and conscious would seem like a good answer, but there are a lot of things that are alive, that can feel, and that are conscious, that aren't persons. Having this conversation with you, again, it might seem like a good one initially, but what if I didn't exist or wasn't here and there was just some algorithm that rates out responses on terminals without an outside user input? Would that be a person because it's having a conversation? Certainly not. So I will click the last. The problem with people, if I may be so bold, is that you are all convinced you're people from the inside. But there's no cast iron way to confirm as much from the outside. I'm going to process this and send you a notification when I'm able to assist you further. Terminating support session, and let's read off on the notes and messages. Another little bit about the Talos Principle's philosopher here. A bit grim in retrospect, considering the archive is corrupted beyond repair. just like the YouTube comment section, is it not? I'm not exactly sure where this is supposed to be for. None of these look like they're for the scientists other than the Philosopher Queen, perhaps being Alexandra. But I'd like to think that it's actually... Oops, click the wrong thing. I'd like to think it's actually a bunch of people from around the web who were able to participate just a little bit in this grand experiment, whatever it is, and for whatever reason there is. That might be another thing that we wouldn't really want from a machine, especially one that lives to fulfill a task. A machine that makes a bunch of wisecracks at the wrong moments, that stumbles over itself and argues with other machines over their pointless points of views. This, in my opinion, is one of the nicer levels in the game. There's something a lot more ideal about this area than many of the other Roman areas in the game. Maybe it's because of how open it is, or perhaps because of this little bit of shade over this headless statue that I like. Whatever the case, another episode is completed with all the sigils collected, which leaves us with one more level to go. We will explore this level in the next episode, and then spend a final episode collecting the remaining stars and exploring.
There are mysteries in my garden. Hidden roads and secret gates. If you dedicate yourself to understanding them, you may join the host of messengers.
But that is a thing for another episode. Until then, thanks for watching. I apologize that today's discussion wasn't as interesting or intricate as it could be. But I think next discussion will be something worth looking forward to. So long.